I've been gardening for a very long time, and I also got my permaculture design certificate. Permaculture is all about observation and using nature and sources and resources and physics and the natural laws of how things work already to your advantage. So rather than always trying to dominate nature and make it do what we want it to do, we kind of go, okay, how do things naturally kind of go? What's a gentle way of doing this? So I don't have to work so hard, and nature will do the work for me. I get a better yield, less work, and less sort of dominating me against nature.
So you work with nature.
We observe and see what does nature want to do. How about if we go along with? At least use those standard ways that microbes and organisms.
You had to learn about everything that.
So I learn all the time. I'm always learning, and you're always observing, and you're always making new connections. And once you allow yourself to do that, then your brain starts to change. You start to visualize and see things from a perspective of, how does that working? Why is it working that way? Why do things grow this way in that circumstance and that way in this circumstance? And how do I use that to my advantage? And one of the things I love about permaculture is this wonderful concept called no enemies. So the idea is, and they also say the Bill Mollison, you say, the problem is the solution. It's not really the best way of saying it. It's like the problem is a solution. Because for every problem, there's actually a solution to another problem. And if you figure out how to blend those together, your problems become you start putting them together. It's like a wonderful, giant, crazy quilt of puzzle pieces that start to fit together and start making interesting solutions like our hoop houses.
So your education was outdoors?
My what?
Your education was outdoors.
Out of doors, sure. And I read and I look everything up on Google and I try stuff. And one of the things I love about this garden, it's called the learning garden. So there's no mistakes. When we try stuff, we learn about an idea, we kind of go, hey, let's try it. We try it, it doesn't work, or it does work, or it kind of works, and we try to make it better the next time. And there's no sense of shame ever if something completely blows up in our face and goes, oh, it's dead. Which is great for these kids because these kids have already dealt with a lot of shame in their lives. They're considered failures in their social circles a lot of times. And so here on the farm, there's no failure. It's like, okay, we gave that a try, it didn't work, but this is cool, so let's try that next year, and let's not do that part next year. So they don't have that sense of like, oh God, if I don't do it right, something bad's going to happen. It's like, no, give it a shot.
And how long does it usually take to germinate, or I don't know what the word is? I mean, once from the time that you plant, how long can they see what they've done?
It all depends on the plant. It depends on what because we planted all these little seedlings about 2 months ago.
Okay, well they can
so
see
right. So they can see anytime along the way. They can see it 2 weeks later when it's like this big, and then another 2 weeks later when it's this big, and they can see it 3 months later when it's going to be tall, and we'll be selling it to our neighbors.
Do these kids live at home?
Depends on the kids.